it's Sophie here. I'm joined today by my brother Harry.
Hello.
A few of you will know who Harry is. Obviously I've just mentioned Harry is my brother. And if you watched my last vlog, I talked about wanting to do a question and answer with Harry and talk a bit about his disability and maybe ask him a few questions. Harry suffers with cerebral palsy and he is in a wheelchair. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear the rain, but it's raining and we're in Harry's conservatory. So Harry, how are you today?
I'm very well.
You good?
Just not with the weather, but you can't have it all. And you get on with stuff, so yeah, I'm good.
We're northern, and we live down south now, as I mentioned in my last vlog, so we're used to like the wet weather coming from Yorkshire, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I did ask my socials, people to ask questions that we could pose to Harry, and if anyone had any sort of questions that they wanted to ask about disability, just because I kind of wanted to break the stigma a little bit. I feel like a lot of people are too scared to ask people questions that have disabilities, and they might...
Most definitely.
Yeah, and I think they sometimes treat people differently because they maybe feel embarrassed because they don't understand the disability, because they have questions. So I kind of wanted to do this little video today just to maybe kind of break the taboo a bit, and hopefully get some of you guys feeling more comfortable around disabled people, and also so that if you ever have questions, you know, the best thing to do is just ask, because you wouldn't mind if people ask you questions.
I'd prefer it that way rather than them patronising me, which is often the way in society, unfortunately. And unfortunately, there's even with the Paralympics and things, that is just an infinite amount of time, and there's still not enough. There's still work that needs to be done in terms of breaking barriers down, whether that's in society, people who want to get on and hold a job down, or just generally wanting to get on in life.
So Harry, that leads me to my first question. For you, what is the hardest thing in society about having a disability?
Probably people who say to me, because I don't see myself like that, probably people that say to me I'm an inspiration because I'm just an ordinary bloke, blessed to be here.
Do you wish you were able-bodied?
No, because I firmly believe that that was planned for my life in a perverse way to be disabled. Yes, it does have its challenges, but then I defy anybody who says they don't have challenges in life, because we all face challenges of some kind or another. What
is the hardest thing for you to like struggle with?
Probably small thing we all take for granted is access and realising that I'm not going to be able to do everything that I want to do, whether that be just accessing a building that's listed, or whether it be just accessing somebody's house, which I'm sure many of your vloggers will just take for granted, because that's just what life is. But it's about not getting too high or not getting too low.
Obviously, if you guys watched my last vlog, you heard me mention that growing up, Harry and me were super close, and then you went to
boarding school and boarding college,
and that was when sort of we grew apart a bit. And that for me, it was when I sort of came to get a sort of resentment against Harry for his disability because of other people, how they saw him.
Because I'll be quite honest.
He interrupts all the time, by the way.
I'll be quite honest, I can be irritating and pain in the backside.
But obviously I mentioned the hardest thing for you. Do you find not having a job and not being able to get employment like normal people, do you find that quite challenging? Would you say that affects you emotionally? Because I know in the past, obviously living with you, you've talked about wanting a job, but it's difficult because obviously like employers would find it hard to employ somebody like you, because it's not only employing you, it's employing your carer.
Yeah.
And then, you know, let's say if they don't have accessibility. So I feel like a lot of employers would overlook your CV.
And the other thing, there's a statistic I was reading at the moment, only 22% of people, there's a government scheme called the Access to Work scheme, are in currently paid employment, and that is only hours of like 10 hours a day if they can get the support. So that is another thing. Whilst yes, voluntary stuff is very rewarding, like me and many others, they would want, and I know this, to have a sense of purpose in maybe holding a paid role down.
I'm going to interrupt you now. Harry can literally go off in a tangent. If anyone ever wants to chat, feels a bit lonely, speak to Harry because he'll just keep talking. But what I was going to mention was, sometimes as your sister, I see the way people talk to you, and I feel like they treat you a little bit like a child, and it's like they're kind of like, they bend down a bit, and their mannerisms, and it's almost like they feel sorry for you. And this is what I was going back to saying, that I think a lot of people don't know how to talk around somebody that has a disability, because I think they feel embarrassed because they haven't had their questions answered, and I think perhaps they're a little bit nervous of saying the wrong thing because they don't know about them. But my advice would be, obviously, as Harry is my brother, and I, you know, can talk to other disabled people with disabilities, you know, not just physical disabilities, yeah, anything, all sorts of, all ranges, you know, talk to them like they are just a normal, able-bodied person, because, you know, they don't want somebody that's going to treat them differently or talk down to them or make them feel patronised, or, you know, Harry hates it when people are really overly sympathetic towards him because he doesn't want people to feel sorry for him. You're just a normal bloke.
Yeah, normal.
Just wanting to do normal things. Unfortunately, Harry was born brain damaged and he's got cerebral palsy, but, you know, you gotta get past it.
A prime example was I was in Yorkshire in May. And
Yorkshire?
Yeah, Yorkshire, sorry.
That's where I'm from.
In May, I actually, which was an achievement for myself, had an able-bodied date which went really well. However...
You get that quiet?
Yeah, which actually went really well. However, she was insistent at first and wanted to continue with this speaking through the personal assistant I had at the time, rather infuriating, until I said that I can actually speak for myself. And actually, since I said that, it kind of broke the ice, and I think she was kind of more accepting of the fact that I was being honest. At the end of the day, it's a cliche, but I can perfectly well speak for myself. I appreciate that people are there to try and help me, and I'm blessed for every single person that I have who helps me. However, it doesn't help breaking down barriers if the person wants to speak through your person supporting you and use them, I suppose, as a mouthpiece.
Yeah, so obviously breaking down barriers in terms of like dating, because I know that you are on the dating scene, and I didn't know you had a date in Yorkshire, you kept that one quiet. But I mean, obviously I like the Undateables on Channel 4, and I think that that is an amazing programme that really challenges people's opinions, but I know you don't see it as that at all,
I suppose...
You don't like it?
I suppose my attitude softened, but I would implore the producers to change the name. I know somebody said to me on Twitter, but they dropped the Undateables if you watch very close. It's
ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's that irony society is seeing them as undateables. They have been made to feel like they are undateable by, you know, society standard. I think the point that we keep coming back to is that if you're watching this and you do tend to sort of struggle with how you interact with people that are disabled or have a disability, not just a physical disability, not just somebody that's in a wheelchair or
mental health issues,
anything. The best thing to do is just talk to them like a normal person, talk to them like you would your friends. Don't treat them differently, because that's the one thing that we keep coming back to, and I see so often,
particularly with people who are got speech difficulties, or what they call lacking communication, people that use communication aids. I see it far too often. People just run out of patience if they come across somebody who uses a communication aid.
So we need to have more patience and more respect.
Yeah.
And not talk to people like they're any different.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the one thing that I find particularly irritating, is when somebody talks down to you or talks through your carer, personal assistant, whatever, you know. I did ask Instagram, Facebook, Twitter if people had any questions for Harry. We only had one question.
What?
And that question was, what are you getting me for Christmas? Do you know? Has Mum told you what you're getting me?
No, I'm not. I'm going to be straight up with your vloggers and say no, because I have genuinely no idea.
Oh, okay, I thought you were going to say nothing then. I was like, what? And you like your hats, don't you, Harry?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell everyone about these hats?
I am so check my Instagram.
I'll post Harry's handle at the bottom of this video, his Twitter and his Instagram.
Check my influencer Instagram, because I'm now under the business account. I'm now switched to an influencer through Rhiannon Kemperdue Miller, who is, I'm a voluntary brand ambassador for Kemperdue Miller.
And she makes these hats, doesn't she? That's what we need to explain, that she makes these cool hats. You've got a few, look, I think we've got some more in the background. These all are hers. These two are, aren't they?
Yes, they're all, apart from that red one and the black one, they're all...
These ones, are these hers?
Through a different brand name.
But she made them?
Yeah.
But they'd be available on the website?
Yeah.
These hats as well. So if you like funky hats, and you like the hat that Harry's wearing, check it out on his Instagram. And also check out his Twitter too. And if you want to get in touch with Harry, go through his Twitter, because you always respond to people's tweets, don't you? And lastly, my last question for you, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Oh, that nearly shut him up then. That's the first time I've heard you go quiet.
To be able to sort of spacewalk, I'd say.
Spacewalk? Well, that's a new one.
With kind of some bionic legs. So if any aerodynamic experts out there can come up with something, please DM me or follow me on social media, and you never know, we can hook up on that one.
Hook up on that one. That sounds a bit rude, hook up. Yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it, if you could walk?
Yeah.
One day. If anyone on here is watching and can build Harry some bionic legs, then please get in touch. And on that note, thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you, see you later. I will tag all our socials at the bottom of this video, and please share and keep watching. Thank you, bye.